Hi, welcome to Down the Track on InView TV. My name's Bruce Mott, I'm your host, and on today's show we have Ronnie Palumbo. In a recent announcement and in great news for Australian drag racing, it was announced that the ACDelco Top Doorslammer team was returning to racing. Well, with that announcement was the news that Ronnie would be behind the wheel and steering that Top Doorslammer down the track. We're going to bring Ronnie on the show now, learn about his past and how he got to this point and his history in racing and what his plans are for the future. Let's bring Ronnie on now. Ronnie Palumbo, welcome to Down the Track on InView TV. How are you?
How about yourself?
I'm very good. Look, thanks for joining us. Very exciting news coming out of the AC Dalco Top Door Slammer team saying they're returning to the sport and that you're going to be behind the wheel. So that must be very exciting for you. I know there's lots of fans out there very excited to see the team back and that you're getting the opportunity to steer the car. So I'm going to
Yep.
bring up a few pictures, some cars that you've driven in the past. Tell us how you, what's your background in the sport and how you got to the point where you would offer the drive in the Fabietti ACDelco Top Doorslammer team.
Yep. Sure. I think I was probably 13. Dad gave me the option of buying a go kart or to go drag racing. And he was always pit crewing for Joe Polito in Pro Stock. So drag racing was the easy choice. That was Joe from J&C Mowers offered me a drive in one of his cars. I drove that throughout till I was too old, which was 16, 9 months. And then from there, Dad, for his 40th birthday, brought an LC Tirana drag car with nitrous on it. It was running 10 seconds. He drove that for a bit. Then he found this new car here, the other LC Tirana, which is underneath that wrap's painted purple. Sold his original car to his cousin Frank Oliveri. They continued racing for a couple years, and then on my little bit before my 21st birthday, he handed me the keys to his LC Tirana. From there, I went on to win a few championships, a few runner-ups, and then from that, Dad got back in the seat for a little bit, and he got sick, so he ended up importing a dragster, which you've seen in a previous photo. Done an engine swap, sold the dragster on, kept the Tirana on. Dad always wanted to go 6 seconds, so he ended up buying that red Pontiac GTO, and we done that for him. He wasn't well at the time, but yeah, we went 680 at 200 miles an hour. From there on, kept racing the Tirana, jumped back into dragster. After that, we bought an LX hatchback, the green one that you see in the photos, and sold that as well. And in between all that, I've raced every car I own: my work car, my street car, my standard LC Tirana, and as of late, I've been racing this LJ Tirana behind me. That's just a super sedan car running 10 O's. Just to have a bit of fun, killing time while we rebuilt Dad's LC Tirana, which I had an incident a month or so after he passed. Banged it up pretty bad. So, yeah, just trying to kill the time. And then was going away camping a couple months ago. On the way there, and got a phone call from Morris. I initially thought we're just talking a bit of crap to and from, asking him how's the team's going, how his wife's going, the family, and he's asking the same back, and how his crew's going. And then he hit me up with the question, Ronnie, I'm looking for a driver. Are you interested? So it threw me back a decent amount. I said, Morris, just let me think about it. Sam was very, very close to me. His family are close to me. So it took a while to make the decision. It wasn't an easy decision. Spoke with my mum, my uncle Steve. They were kind of on board, kind of not. That they didn't want me to get, to an older age and have any regrets. So they said, Ronnie, just go do it if that's what you want to do. And that's where we're at.
And so it must be obviously very exciting to be part of such a well respected and well credentialed team. And then I saw you did a release recently at the Bend in South Australia, announcing the team. Love the look of it. I love the red that's been added to the car. It just looks fantastic. And so, what have you been doing so far? Have you been testing? I think you've still got a license in the car. Is that right?
That's correct. So far we've just been working on the car. We went to Adelaide for a bit of PR work, displayed the car, a few startups, hand out some posters, autographs. Other than that, I've had only one testing day. That was my first burnout in the car, which the team was wrapped with. The first launch, team was very, very happy. Car went well. Had a gearbox issue, which is more or less driver and crew error, not knowing the new car. Every nut and bolt's brand new. So they put a tie drive in it, still the Lenco 3-speed, but they put a tie drive in it. And neither myself or the crew had any idea how to kind of work it and shift gears properly from forward to reverse. So more or less a driver error. We couldn't get it from reverse to drive and a bit of mucking around with that. So we only really had that one half pass, and we done another burnout, and we still couldn't get it into gear. So we just pulled up stumps, went back, took the gearbox out, took the tire drive out, checked everything. Everything was fine. Had a chat to people at the States and worked out what I was doing wrong. And so now, everything's back in the car, ready to go. Car's wrapped, media release, and we'll be back out on the 22nd of September doing some more test hits and hopefully get my license.
Right, on 22nd September here at Sydney Dragway, no doubt. That's where you'll be
Yeah, that's
testing.
right. Yeah. 22nd's a private day, and then we've booked the 23rd, which is a test and tune as well, just in case we have to do some more passes or whatever the case may be. But yeah, either way, I'm pretty confident. From the first hit, I felt very, very comfortable in the car. Everything went really well. The buttons and driving the car is more or less what I'm used to. Now with the automatic gearbox, just got a trans brake. It's quite fun to drive.
Well, I'm glad you answered that because that was a question I was going to ask is how do you feel in the car? You're saying very comfortable, fun to drive. That's great. What about the difference in the sheer speed and the horsepower from what you've raced up till now? How did that feel?
Oh, yeah. That red car that ran 680 at 200 mile an hour. More or less the same feeling at the moment. The car's very turned down, and most people that I've spoken to said that the start of the run is very comfortable. Just wait till you get to the end when you're hitting 250 mile an hour. So I haven't been there quite yet, but at the moment, very comfortable, very easy to drive, no issues. Car went straight as a die. Can't wait to get back into it again.
And so what's the plans for the season? I'm assuming you'll be doing all rounds. Is that right?
That's correct. Yep. So we got Adelaide in October, then we're off to Perth in November, then back to Adelaide in January. Australia Day long weekend will be in Sydney, then back to Perth, back to Adelaide, and then Willowbank. So we're planning to do every round if all goes well, and hopefully win some trophies.
Well, I was going to ask you that. Are you there to make up the numbers, or are you there to win a championship?
I'm not there to play games. I'm there to win. So to get a trophy would be very, very. Just thinking about it, I get emotional. A lot's gone on behind the scene, and thinking of Dad and Sam, and to get that first trophy will be unbelievable.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there won't be many dry eyes in the house once you get that first trophy.
Definitely not.
There's a lot of people around Australia in all forms of drag racing, whether they're your competitors or totally different bracket altogether, that I'm sure will be rooting for you to get that first win and for the win for team, for Sam, and of course your dad as well.
Yep.
Ronnie, I'm going to let you go. I know you're in your workshop and you've probably got something you're always working on. You're either in the workshop or you're on the racetrack, one or the other. Anyone in you would particularly want to thank to have gotten you here where you are in your drag racing career and where you're going in the next 12 months or so?
Oh, where do we start? It all started with probably Dad with Joe Polito. And then, from there it went to Joe Princey from J&C Mowers in his juniors. Got to thank them too. My dad, without him, I'd probably be, I don't know, playing golf or fishing and probably have a lot more funds in my bank account. My Uncle Steve, he's always been their support. My mum, in terms of getting me down the track currently. Morris, the ACDelco team, ACDelco's parts, without their sponsorship, we wouldn't be in the car. Jeff Cuttajar, mate, second to none, champion bloke. Sat with me, strapped me in, taught me, run through everything I had to do. Morris's crew, my crew, without them, we wouldn't be there. Morris and Mary, their professionalism and give me the opportunity to get in the car. And yeah, let's go win some trophies.
Yeah. Look, good on you. All the very best to you and the team. Once again, congratulations to everyone involved. And I look forward to seeing how you go. I'll be there at the bend for sure. I'll come up and say hello. But I wish you all the best in your testing and your licensing between now and then. Ronnie, thanks for being on Down the Track on InView TV.
Thank you very much.